To the Culturocity Report. We're very excited to have our guests with us today. We have Thaddeus Johnson, who many in the Oklahoma City area are getting to know. He's a phenomenal vocalist and artist, and we're very excited to have you with us. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm very privileged and honored to be here, so thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, and honored to have you here. So tell us about yourself. Who is Thaddeus Johnson?
Yeah. Good question. To be honest, Thaddeus Johnson is still figuring himself out, and that's just an honest answer. I think, until I reach that wisdom age, I'm always going to be figuring out who I am. But in the meantime, I'm somebody who is just learning his trade, listening now. I grew up in church, heavy voice, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather was a pastor, so we went to that church, one of the biggest churches in Lawton, Oklahoma. So, kind of falling under that shadow, all I'll do is sing in church. So that's what I thought I was. I was a church boy, church singer. That's all I was going to do. Going throughout my singing tenure, I started kind of focusing more on training my voice. My mom and different people in Lawton, Oklahoma, they started reaching out to my mom and saying, hey, your son kind of got something, so we kind of want to take that and try to train it. And so that I became more of a trained person, and so I started thinking that's more of who I was. So then I was like, it was kind of conflicting, because I was like, in church, not a lot of training, but in training, you kind of take away all the things you learn in church. So, and now I'm gigging, so I'm learning a lot of different things about myself. So
awesome.
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah, awesome. How long have you been singing?
Well, I've been murmuring sounds and stuff since I was like 2. My mom says I would just hum different notes and everything. She said then that's when she knew that there was something musical about me. My mom's a singer, and my grandma, Lord Jesus, you talking about literally a heaven-sent voice. My grandmother's voice is that. I get it from them. And so growing up in church, like I said, I started probably when I was 6. I had my first solo, and in 2010, my mom found a tape of that solo, and she screamed, and I was like, what's going on? And she was like, come here, Thaddeus. And I was like, okay. I went in, and she was like, listen. And I didn't even remember it. I was like, wow. And she was like, this is the first solo that you ever sang.
Wow.
So, yep.
That's
when I was 6.
Wow. Cool. Wow. So you've been singing for a while, come from a family of singers.
Yes, sir.
It sounds like. In terms of genre, is there a particular genre that you would consider yourself, classify yourself as a singer?
Yeah, Brian, I've always thought a lot about that question. Of course, now I necessarily wouldn't put a genre on myself because I'm still learning my craft. I'm learning my craft for me. And what I mean by that is I'm learning what I can do with my voice, how I can push myself in my voice. And there's certain genres that my voice fits better. And I'm learning that now because I didn't really try it at first. It was just, church. Went from church to training, classical, Broadway. Then straight from that, I started singing background more in the neo soul kind of thing. So those 3 different genres are kind of all different polar opposites, but then they still have kind of a common tone within each of them, which is like that power. So I know that whatever genre I will label myself as, it has to have that kind of like power behind it, that kind of force behind it. But until then, I kind of like, neo soul / R&B / indie / I don't know, traditional, but just a little bit of a mix of a melting pot. So
absolutely. Wonderful. So we were talking a little bit earlier about your humility, which is really it's amazing. If y'all have heard this brother sing, I'm telling you, he can blow. He's very extremely talented brother. I've been a fan of yours for a while. The first time that I heard you sing, you were singing background for Cookie Turner. Shout out to Cookie. Want to get Cookie on here and talk to you as well. But you were singing background, and she actually singled you out. And this was during her album release party for her first album at Urban Roots. Yeah. And I was like, man, this brother's really holding it down. Yeah. And she singled you out, and you're just known for that humility. There have been other artists, nationally, internationally known artists that have been here in the area. I think particularly of Thaddeus Johnson, Ty Tribbett, who you would be at their performances and they're singling you out and passing the mic to you, and you're just doing your thing. Considering the huge talent that you have, how do you manage to stay so grounded and stay so humble?
Well, one, because I know that this is a new journey for me, and I know that I'm going to make mistakes. I've already made mistakes, coming into back to Oklahoma. I went to Atlanta for college for a little bit, and then coming in back to Oklahoma, we mentioned Cookie. She was the first person that kind of gave me an opportunity when I moved back here. Mm-hmm. And when I moved back here, all I had was like classical and gospel training. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget the first practice, we were singing background. Cookie was like, all right, let me hear the harmonies. And Brian, I just came out, I was like, I'm just do me, I'm going to sing me. And I just came out with this big, robust voice, and she was like, whoa, wait a minute, no, that's not how this works. That's not how neo soul works. So, because of that, I then realized, I have a lot to learn. Mm-hmm. I have a lot to learn. And because of that, I never need to put myself higher than anybody. I never need to put myself on a pedestal, because I'm going to make mistakes. I have to be able to receive criticism. So, with that mentality, I'm always going to look to see what else I can absorb, what else I can learn to make myself a better artist and a better person.
Sure. Speaking of learning, are there any artists or any individuals in your life that you consider inspiration for you?
Definitely. Of course, my family, my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom, my dad, my sisters, my 3 sisters. I call them my Charlie's Angels. We fight all the time, but that's what family do. That's when you love somebody, because when you have differences and you argue to prove that differences, it means something to them, and it means something to you. And so that's definitely my main protection. You don't want to mess with them. Of course, my girlfriend Linda, she inspires me every day. She just supports me, through every situation, every problem, every obstacle we come through. She's always there. But even outside of my family, I do have people I look up to. I have mentors. I have 2 people that go to my church. They're the Nettles, Pastor Derek and Ebony Nettles. They're kind of like my spiritual mentors. They lead me, they guide me. They always know when something is up. They always know. He reached out to me. He like, I know you're not gonna answer the phone, but I'm still gonna call you because something is up. And we end up always talking it out. And then of course, my spiritual big brother, Quentin Dixon, and his wife, Takisa Dixon. And my spiritual big sister, Lauren Corbett. I don't think I've ever met any 2 people that were not blood that I could be as close to as I am to Quentin and Lauren. We literally share the same wavelength in like telepathy almost. We can like speak to each other without words. And so because of that covering, I prayed about that, and God gave me that covering, and now He's like elevating me to where He wants me to go, and I have that covering.
Are there any recording artists that you look up to or kind of pattern yourself after?
I don't want to say there's anybody I pattern myself after. There are people that I listen to. I like take what they do and I like to modify it to fit my voice, to see if I can do what they do melodically. as far as locally, I always take things from Cookie. We take things from each other. We work so well together. We even come up with new harmonies and melodies with each other just by vibing. And of course, Adam and Kizzy, they're always going to be some of my role models, just their artistic freedom that they do. As far as big names, I will always be a fan and sing Luther Vandross songs, because he's done a lot for me that he don't even know. Michael Jackson, because it's my mom's favorite artist, so that's always going to be there. And then really anybody that's big in the church, especially worship, I look up to them for what they do, the lives they live. So.
You mentioned Luther Vandross, and we were talking a little bit before the interview, just about your personal journey in terms of wellness, your weight loss journey, and I've seen you on a lot of that journey. Talk to us about that process and what you've gone through in terms of your journey of self-awareness and self-improvement, where you've come from and where you're going.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, and a lot of people don't know this, I hit like a really rough patch, like in my life, about early adulthood, 20, 21, 22 area, and it was a very stressful time for me. And so I started losing weight because I was stressed. I wasn't eating. I was doing things that in the public eye would probably not be received as great. And it was more of myself trying to figure out myself as a whole. Like, I didn't sing. I didn't even do music. I was just like, I need to figure out, what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not doing something right. And so at that time, I just started losing weight because of just like being stressed and not eating and all that kind of stuff. But then, I got back in church, and God really spoke to me. He was like, you can do this in a healthy way. You can eat right. You can exercise a little bit. You can do what you need to do. And I started doing that, and the weight started coming off even faster. And so in 1 year time frame, I lost I think it was like 84, 85 pounds.
That's
in 1 year time frame, and I've lost an additional 20 more.
Wow.
So I'll be honest, I was around 374 last year, in 2015, and now I am 278.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
We encourage you, just keep doing what you're doing. And a lot of people can identify with that. You're talking about where you want to go, but a lot of people are going through that same journey themselves. So I feel like it just makes you more relatable as an artist. How do you hone your craft as an artist?
Kind of like I was telling you earlier, I continue to work on it. I sing all the time. If I'm listening on the radio, I try to harmonize, just learning. I'm trying to learn everything about music. I'm learning. And anything, like whether it's natural sounds, anything, I'm learning it. I listen, how can I implement that in my music? And there's a lot of rough moments behind closed doors that I try musically. My family and my girlfriend would tell you I will sing in the car and it sounds a hot mess, but I won't know unless I try it. And so every time I hear something different, I try it to see if I can implement it and to see how it can be elevated to elevate me musically. So I take things from everywhere.
Wonderful. What is in the future for Thaddeus Johnson as an artist?
Future for me, so I'm in school right now. I'm learning music production, actually. I've done classical training, all that kind of stuff. So I'm learning how the business side of it and the production side of it, because I want to open up a label. At the very top of my career, I want a label, and I just want it to be a label of freedom. You can come and record anything. I don't really want it to be derogatory, but be able to come and just be yourself, because I didn't have that a lot. Growing up as an artist, trying to be an artist, trying to make it, and even to now, kind of struggle with that, trying to record and stuff. So I told myself when I get there, I want to have a label that all somebody got to do is say, hey, can I come do this? Come through.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah. What advice would you give to aspiring artists, just quickly?
Yeah, definitely. Just don't give up. And always be yourself. I know that's kind of cliche, but it's so true. This industry, even like locally, you can lose yourself behind trying to make it or trying to please other people. But God gave you a gift and a reason a gift for a reason, what I'm saying, and use it for that reason. Always seek Him when you're doing it, and He'll lead you in the right way.
Wonderful. There you have it. Real quickly, just shout out your social media. Let people know.
Definitely. I don't have a Facebook page right now, but Jay Wiggins told me I had to get one by tomorrow. So I'm going to be getting one. So you will just look up Thaddeus Johnson on Facebook. I do have Instagram, Thaddeus Johnson Sings. And then you can just look up my regular name, like Thaddeus Johnson, and you'll see gigs and everything that's coming up.
Wonderful. And as I said, I'm a big fan. And when y'all hear this, brother, you'll become fans as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We're looking for big things to come from Thaddeus Johnson. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless you, too.
On the grave, la da 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 da.